Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy KJ5 to the 2. You're listening to
Ampedradio.
ampedradio.
Your boy Official, and I just came by to encourage my brother SA with Ampedradio and whoever is part of this.
Yo, what's good, fam? It's your boy DM, and you listening to SA from Death to Self Records on Ampedradio. Check it out.
Covered in the blood while he hung, cause he drifted wet. While he was in the garden.
What up? It's your boy Bishop Chase, man. You know, just wanted to leave a shout out to my man SA. Man, you doing big things, man. Keep repping Christ. You know, keep doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing with the show, man. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Young Town.
Girl LF.
Freshman.
This is Kim Frank.
I just want to encourage y'all to be checking out Ampedradio, one of the hottest radio shows on the web right now for your music to be played, as well as other music to be played, as well as your music and stuff like that. Hey, you listening to Ampedradio? You know what I mean? Just keep doing what you do, man. God moves. All right, bro. One love.
Keep it locked right here.
What's going on, boys and girls? It's your boy SA, and welcome to another amazing episode of Amped Radio. We are here on episode 11. That's right, we've made it to the double digits and we are thriving. Today's episode, we are talking about best practices to becoming a successful music artist. So we got some tactical stuff that we're going to be talking about today. So if you are a music artist, you're definitely going to want to listen in on this episode because we got a lot of stuff to discuss, all right? So in the mix today, we got Push Myself by Rhetoric, followed by Glow by Tay Collier, and then of course Concrete Jungle Cypher by The Crew. I'll mention their names later. And then Verily by Oeasy. First two are up next. You are in the mix right here on Amps Radio. It's your boy SA. Stay tuned. We'll be back for this awesome topic right here on Amps Radio. Check it out.
Man, this mixtape should have been done about 6 months ago. But now I'm here to finish it. I just gotta keep pushing myself. I'ma do it.
I gotta push myself, I gotta push myself. The light at the tunnel is nearing. Believe it or not, I can't get near it. So I gotta push myself, I gotta push myself. The sweat on my brow is steaming. I can't believe it, how close I am to this feeling. I feel like I'm on a treadmill, won't stop never. Gotta sweat it all out just to get it together. With the strive, I feel like I could defeat cancer. Gotta keep dancing to defeat this devil. I can never do it without God, and never without pride. But I love to see that smile in that young fan's eyes. And I close mine, thinking life's a fantasize. Remembering life with no music is a different time. Now it feels too difficult as I paint my lyrics to be viewed as a visual. Now this evidence is evident. I don't get it, but then again, I never did. It's so clear that I'm heaven sent. It's my birthright to talk as I do, to craft my thoughts and views as I do. I've gotta stay alive, glad music's on my side. Probably wouldn't survive unless music's on my side. I gotta push myself, I gotta push myself. The light at the tunnel is nearing. Believe it or not, I can't get near it. So I gotta push myself, I gotta push myself. The sweat on my brow is steaming. I can't believe it, how close I am to this feeling. This cloud that I'm up on feels like cloud 9. But when it rains, I fall to the ground. It happens every time, it always happens so quick. Close my eyes, it's not fair. Fall down to realize the drive to get back up there. Once I'm there, I'm a different man. Different viewpoints, I got different plans. Day in and out, I feel the difference is positively brilliant. I do it all the same, given the choice to live again. But with music, I can live again. No joke, I do nothing different. My vision is not twisted, it's a picture of me gifted. Living my life to the brightest, pushing myself to the highest level. Now it's bringing tears to my eyes to part you. I pour my heart and soul onto these piano strings. Now the song is ending, I bring my heart and soul as an offering to I gotta push myself, I gotta push myself. The light at the tunnel is nearing, believe it or not, I can't get near it. So I gotta push myself, I gotta push myself. The sweat on my brow is steaming, I can't believe it, how close I am to this feeling.
Wow, this journey's over. 11 months later, 11 tracks later, and plenty more of tracks that have been deleted and only remembered by the time machine on my MacBook Pro. It's been a lot of struggle and stress, but I just kept pushing myself.
Turn it up.
This is not your ordinary radio.
What you got now? All right.
You're listening to Amp Radio.
Where the party
Brought
at?
to you by D2S Records. We got you in the mix.
Who made you? Who made you that way? Trying to find the right inflection. Who made you that? Who made you that way?
Who made your self-talk like this? I think my self-talk need a twist. Cause emotions been on cruise ship and I get seasick. So I don't need negative energy, you can keep it. Or seasick. I think the latter is better. Feel like the ladder is heavy. Trying to move up to new level, but sadness be keeping me leveled. I feel like I should know better. Joy can only settle if you let it. I'm a bit awkward. Scratch that hashtag, I'm a bit awesome. Help me to see me as you see me. I want that joy we see on TV. They make it look easy.
Strength and the joy of the Lord. Peace at the sound of his voice. Got you but praying for more. Got you but praying for more.
Help me so I won't just keep giving up on my energy to every issue life presented me. Help me be happy with you because you really friended me,
Don't need nobody else, just you. Wanna know joy for myself, it's true. I gotta be happy with you, yeah.
I need you and no one else.
Cause I can't depend on no one else. I gotta be happy with you, yeah.
I need you and no one else.
Cause I can't depend on no one else. No one else.
He told me that I was worth it. God told me that I am perfect.
Flawless.
Perfect just the way I am.
Yeah.
No need to put my trust in man. But that's what I did. Didn't understand how this would affect me. Then follow his plan. I try to be happy, but I never can. I think I'll start over. Gotta try again. Cause all the hurt from my past had me feeling like the love of God couldn't last. What he calls his treasure was once treated like trash. Was headed to destruction right into my life flash right in front of my eyes. Like how many times did I cry? Looking at the sky wondering, God, why did I allow self-hate to lead me to the wrong guys? Now I'm on my knees saying, God,
Change me. I no longer wanna be the same me. Change me, God. Change me, God.
Don't need nobody else, just you. Wanna know joy for myself, it's true. I gotta be happy with you, yeah.
I need you and no one else.
Cause I can't depend on no one else. I gotta be happy with you, yeah.
I need you and no one else.
Cause I can't depend on no one else. No one else.
That was Glow by Tay Collier. And that was right after Push Myself by Rhetoric. So that was the lineup for Amped Radio. Hope you guys are having a good time, a good week, and welcome to episode 11. So today's episode, we're talking about best practices to become a successful music artist, and this is where we're gonna get into some of the more technical stuff. On every episode, I like to, give a message to uplift people, but also these, like for instance, this episode is a little bit of a break from that typical uplifting message. This one is more just straight up technical, gets into the heart of, things that you can actually apply. Not that you couldn't apply the other stuff too, but this is more like, okay, this is real active. You can do this right now, apply it to your life, and help build yourself to be a better artist. Now again, if you are coming at this as a minister, like a pastor or something like that, this can easily be applied to that too. Basically, I'm reflecting my interests through Amped Radio, and those are the two main interests that I have. Me being a pastor, and me being a music minister or music artist. So, we got quite a little bit to discuss today, so it's obvious that you're going to need a pen and a pad. So go ahead and grab that right now. I'll wait for you. All right, that's good. Once again, guys, we are live here on Facebook and YouTube, so make sure that you are checking us out every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. And then you can catch the replays on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher. You know the deal. And we got some more exciting stuff coming further down the pipeline. So this show is growing, and there's more to come, more to see. So just trust me when I say that the best has not yet come for Amped Radio, and I'm incredibly excited to get into further episodes, discuss these things with you, and hopefully have a positive dialogue. I definitely want to be, when I started this show, I wanted to be a voice for the generation. It doesn't have to be a big voice, but a voice. Just carry this as far as God will take me, So yeah, with that in mind, let's dive right in. Once again, you're going to need that pen and pad. So if you don't have it, then just whip out your cell phone, because everybody's got one nowadays. And just load to your notes app, and let's get this going. All right. Okay. So first up, we're going to talk about how to properly schedule your day. So go ahead and write that down. How to properly schedule your day. Now again, these are, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 things that you're gonna write down, and you're gonna apply this to your life, and this is supposed to help you. But these are action items. So if you're not taking action, then obviously none of this is gonna help. So make sure that as you're writing this down, you are applying it. All right. So first off, like I said, is how to properly schedule your day. Now this is probably the hardest. So why did I put this at the front? Because it's the hardest. If you can't get past this, then the other stuff is not really gonna work for you. But if you get past this, then everything else is easy going, right? How to properly schedule your day. Now, most people are stuck in the routine of, well, first of all, they're stuck in the routine, period. And that's actually sort of positive, which we'll talk about in a bit. But the routine that they're stuck in is usually something that is leading them to nowhere. See, I'm okay with falling under routines. What I'm not okay with is those routines giving me no progress to whatever goal I'm setting myself for. So, for instance, if you add whitening strips to your teeth, you're hoping that through repetition, through following that routine, that you'll see whiter teeth. But if you are not seeing whiter teeth, then there's no progress, and you're stuck in a routine, but it's not benefiting you. So always make sure that through routine, you are benefiting. So that goes into how to schedule your day. I believe that routine is a good thing when it comes to scheduling, your day, scheduling yourself, because for the obvious goal of trying to be a music artist, or a minister, getting to that career mindset. So scheduling yourself is obviously really important, but how do you do it? Well, first of all, the first step you should do for this, and this is like a little sub-note here. The first thing you want to do is you want to write out all the important things, all the important tasks that you need to do for that day. And when you do so, plan it for your whole week. Just write it out. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, so just write it all out. And before you start placing stuff into your days, just make a master list of all the things that you need to do. Now, once you have that master list, go ahead and plug them into the specific days. Obviously, you want to take one day off to honor the Sabbath, so make sure that whatever day you choose, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, I don't know, but whatever day you choose, that it is a day of rest, no productivity whatsoever. And let me tell you, that is so important. Not only is it biblical, but there's a reason why it's biblical. There's a reason why God himself took a day off. Now, if God himself, the holiest of entities, took a day to rest when God doesn't need rest, it obviously is that important. So if you're not doing it because you're a workaholic, stop. Make sure you do it. All right? So minus one day of that week, the other 6 days are fair game. Make sure you plug it in whatever tasks you have into those days. But here's the thing. Within each day, you want to make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself. You want to be busy. There's a difference between being busy, having a full schedule all 6 days. There's a difference between that and being overwhelmed. Okay? And there's a few ways you can make sure that you're not overwhelmed. First of all, routine is fine, but it is to a point. You don't want to do the same things over and over and over and over and over again every single day for, like, let's say you have a task that takes you, 2 hours of your day to do. You don't want to do that 2 hours every single day for those 6 days. Maybe the following day you do it 1 hour. Maybe the following day after that, you take a break from that one task and do something else in place of it, and then come back the day after. Does that make sense? I don't know what it'll look like for you guys, but you should switch things up. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they should not all look identical. There should be some things that do stay the same, like lunch, prayer, Bible time, dinner, take off time for your family. And that gets into some of the recreational stuff. Listen, if you are scheduling your days for music, for whatever, also remember, most of us have a 9 to 5, so you definitely want to block off time for you to make some money so you can earn a living. But around that, you're gonna plot these things in, and like I said, you don't want it to be too repetitious. You want a routine, but you don't want it to be overwhelming. Does that make sense? And it gets overwhelming when it's repetitious, when it's the same thing, when it's monotonous over and over. You do want to switch things up. But if you do a task, like let's say on Monday, it takes you 2 hours to do one thing, well, every Monday you should do that one thing. Tuesday, in that time slot, maybe you're doing something else, or maybe you're doing it 1 hour instead of 2 hours. Okay, well now it's different between Monday and Tuesday, but every Tuesday you're doing that 1 hour instead of 2. Or something different in place of what you did on Monday at the same time. And then maybe on Wednesday you come back and you do what you did on Monday. Maybe Wednesday is a mirror image of Monday, right? But you've already had Tuesday slightly different to switch things up. And then again, Thursday could switch things up more. And then Friday, So that's how you do things without being overwhelmed, but also you remain productive. Does that make sense? Because it's great to follow a routine. It's great to repeat things, because the more you do something, the more consistently you the more consistently you do things, the more momentum you build for whatever your goal is or whatever your goals are. So, it's not a bad thing to be in a routine. It's bad to be stuck in it and not going anywhere. So keep that in mind. And as you go through week after week, here's the thing. You may realize that some of those tasks, based on how you plot it, are just not working. Well, guess what? change them. You could change them. You can switch them around. You could maybe think that, okay, on Tuesday, I'm going to do this now instead. Maybe you can handle doing the same thing Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, but then something totally different Thursday and Friday. Maybe that works best for you. Maybe you consider, if you do it that way, Thursday and Friday may seem like an extended weekend because it's so different. Who knows? So you got to find what works for you. But you also want to make sure that you are following a routine, that you are repeating things, and you are being consistent, because without consistency, there is no progress. Does that make sense? So how do you stick to these things? Because a mind like mine forgets easily. Well, the answer is pretty obvious. We are blessed in this society, in this point of our society, to have access to smartphones, to smartwatches, to tablets. And with that, we have the ability to set reminders. And as long as we plot them in, so what I do is, I plan my days just like I explained to you, but I plot them into the calendar app on my phone. And once I do so, I also enable notifications. So it helps to keep me on track. Now, you can obviously ignore your notifications, but it's just one step more to get you to be more consistent. I mean, no one is going to hold a gun to your head and make sure that you're doing those things, but you at least have a set schedule, something that is routine, repetitious, and you have notifications to tell you, hey, this is what you should be doing with your time. Now, there's another thing that you want to add. Two things that I'm going to mention with this part of scheduling your day as well. One is you want to make sure that you take a day. So from those 6 days, not counting the Sabbath, but from those 6 days, you want to take one of those days and you want to make sure that that day is free. Like, not free in that you're off, but free thinking. Or how do I say it? You want to be productive, but you want to allow your mind to be creative. So if you are all about writing, music and doing things a certain way, Monday, for 5 days, the 6th day, you want to just let your mind wander, I've read so many books regarding business, regarding success stories, where the best companies incorporate that into their business week. So instead of 6 days, they obviously have 5 days because Monday through Friday is the business week. But one of those days, a lot of the companies I've seen choose either Tuesdays or Fridays, and even the company that I was a part of incorporated that somewhat. But one of those days was giving all the workers the chance to just work on their own projects, separate from, well, it would still be part of the company, but it would just be separate from their usual thing. So for you as a music artist, maybe 5 days you're working on this one album, but on that 6th day, work on a single, work on a mixtape, work on your book, I don't know, something different. You definitely want to switch it up because you want to make sure that your mind is still free to be able to think creatively, and you have to feed that creative mindset, right? So that's one thing I want to throw in there. The other thing is, when you're plotting your schedule, let's say, for example, and I'm just going to give you a random example, if you have, let's say, 8 o'clock to 9, you're walking, right? You designated that as, I'm just going to walk around for about a mile, and this is my scheduled walking time, right? You want to make it to where you do that, but also tasks like that, they're flexible. So, for instance, if 8 to 9, that is your walking time, obviously if something comes up, you want to, use one of those flex times to do something else. Does that make sense? Now, if it's something that's hardcore on the schedule, like, hey, I'm at my 9 to 5, that's a lot less flexible. Or if you have, like, let's say 7 to 9 p.m., 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Monday, that is your writing and recording time for your music. Well, you really want to adhere to that. You don't want to make that a flexible block of time. So make sure that you do have flex time through your week. So Monday to Friday, what does your flex time look like? Obviously, lunchtime could be flex time. Your walking time could be flex time. You don't want to flex on God, so make sure that you are, really in your prayer life, really in your reading your word. But you don't want to, there's certain things that are flexible and certain things that are not. So in your scheduling, make sure that, like I said, for example, the walking, but maybe it's not that, maybe it's something else. You have designated times where you are doing something, but those things could be flexible on any given day if something happens, because we know life happens. The only thing set in stone, as my one of my pastors used to say, the only thing set in stone is that there's nothing set in stone. So when things come up, use those designated times. Now, obviously, for emergency stuff, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you gotta take care of it. But if I know that I need to take my car in tomorrow, I'll use one of those flex times tomorrow. Make sense? I won't do that during the times where I'm supposed to be really productive. And I hope that helps. So we got a comment here from Diego. What's up, man? Thank you for that comment, bro. He says, good idea. All right, so that in totality is, are some very helpful ways to properly schedule your day. Hopefully you got something from that. Next up, we have how to utilize social media and YouTube. Now, this one could be an entire episode on its own, and these actually may be ideas for future episodes. But as a music artist, you gotta utilize social media, which includes YouTube. Social media is very important because it is the way to become transparent and connect to your audience. And if you look at any of the popular Hollywood artists, their tone as they're addressing people is in a very informal, conversational tone, right? So we all know that most of these people aren't really managing their own social profiles. Some may, but most of them aren't. So most of them are managed by big corporations that do social media for high-name artists, but they still carry the tone of the artist, and it's still very conversational. And that is because people want to build connections. People want to connect to their heroes. People want to connect to those people that they look up to. And you as an artist, whether you like it or not, you're someone's looking up to you. So connect to them in a personal way. The days of I'm gonna be all good in the public eye, but behind the scenes I'm just a jerk, those days are over. If you're a jerk behind the scenes, that's gonna get out there on social media. So obviously work on yourself, but you need to be active on social media. And so the question is, what social media should I be active on? All of them. Nothing. I mean, I'm sorry to break it to you. This isn't an easy part of life, but you got to be active on all of them. You got to be active on Facebook, even though a lot of people saying, "Oh, Facebook is going downhill." It's mostly for parents and grandparents now. I'm 35. I'm a parent. I'm on social media. But yeah. So Facebook, obviously, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, like I said. And even on YouTube, if you're, throw video content up, but also comment on other people's videos. That's how you connect, you network, you build relationships when you are talking. That's what social media is all about, talking. So if you're posting on your Facebook, right? You got a fan page. You're posting your video content and stuff like that. If you know some fans, go to their private pages, their profile pages, befriend them, and comment on them. Suddenly you're connecting to them in a personal way that is more meaningful because it's on their turf instead of your own. You're not waiting for people to come to you, you're going to them. And guess what? That's a free marketing tip. Stuff that you can do without having to pay a dime. So that's a free one for you. So make sure you're doing that. Social media, I'm going to get into a whole thing about social media because I just can't cover that in the time we have left. Next up, we have the importance of having a website. Now, the website, you could consider it, write this down, a hub. Having a website is a hub, and it is virtual, write this down too. Having a website is virtual real estate for your brand. So you may not have a big website, you may not have a flashy interactive website, But the fact alone that you have a website, period, is your virtual real estate. It is your hub, and you are occupying space in the digital world. Don't just use Facebook. Don't just use Twitter. Don't just use MySpace, which is not even a thing anymore. Make sure that you are occupying space in the digital world with a website. Do you, whatever it is, yourname.com. Make sure you're doing that. And we'll get into more of that in a future episode as well. Next up is how to create your own image. Oh, man. Another good idea for a future episode. These are outlines for new episodes coming up, guys. But how to create your image. Now, one thing I will say about this is that when you work on an image, first of all, what is an image, right? Well, I created an image on YouTube a few years ago called The Blogging Rapper. And The Blogging Rapper was meant to be just a way of, I guess the best way I could describe it is cartoonifying my personality on YouTube. I could have gone as Jason Torres. I even could have gone as Essay. But the purpose of this channel was to get into tech reviews, movie reviews, stuff like that. And I wanted something that would stick, something that anyone can connect with and realize, oh, I see what he's about. He's about blogging, and he's a rapper. The Blogging Rapper. The Blogging Rapper, huh? So they go to my website, thebloggingrapper.com, and they get to see my blogs, and I'm a rapper. I got the whole look, the appeal. You look at me, and I am a rapper. That's my image. So in music, whether you're a rapper, whether you're a country singer, whether you're this, that, or the third, whatever it is whatever genre you fit into, create an image, because you will just be another face in the crowd if you don't have one. What are you? A lot of music artists create dual personas. They create, like Nicki Minaj, in her case, she's got 10 personas? But we know that a lot of music artists, they have multiple or just dual personas because they're cartoonifying their personality. They're taking their essence and they're amplifying it, right? You can't just be who you are and expect people to, relate and love you based on just the skill of your lyrics. You got to work on everything, and your face, your personality, your image is your brand, and you got to work on your brand. So what does that look like? Are you the serious type? Are you the funny type? Are you conflicted, complicated? Are you sadistic? I don't know. But what are you? Are you even balanced? Hey, are you the straight man? Are you the strict, are you just purely honest? Are you a no-nonsense type of person? What are you? What does that look like for you? Create that image. And as you become this way, as you work on this image, it'll reflect in your album art. Notice how NF, for anyone who knows NF, take a look at all his album covers. They have a very similar feel, a very similar look and feel across all of them. Look at KJ5 too, same deal. He's, there's a certain image through all of his album covers. There's a feel, a mood, right? Lecrae's, same thing. So there's a reason why they look like that. There's a purpose. It's planned. It's marketing. And so if you want to succeed as a music artist, you gotta work on your image, right? We got a couple more, but let me take a look at the comments here. Diego, yep, I've been sleeping on my website. People have been asking me for it. I need to jump on that. Hey Diego, Freshman, who's on my label, he's been saying the same thing because he's driving around, he's connecting with a lot of people, and they're constantly asking him for his website. He's got a domain, but he doesn't have, his website's not up. So same deal. If you don't have a website, you're essentially missing out on opportunities for people to connect with you at a later time. They may come up to you and say, hey man, I really like you, man. Hey, how can I connect with you later? Well, you can find me on Facebook, but you could also go to my website, .com. And 9 times out of 10, people will follow up with you if they remember your website address, right? Or if you have it on a business card. So yeah, absolutely, that's important. Ace Carib, what's up? You are absolutely right. Creating an identity. Yeah. So, and that's something that it ties into how you interact on social media, the whole image thing. It also ties into your website, the look and feel of it. It ties into everything. So make sure you're working on that. Next up, we have why consistency is so important. Now, this gets into, it kind of circles back into the whole scheduling thing, right? Consistency is so important, but why? Well, you tell me. Why is consistency so important? I think it pretty much speaks for itself. If you're not consistent, you're just not going anywhere. But let me tell you, one thing about consistency is you gotta be boring as to how consistent you are. Notice how Amped Radio, I'm pretty much boring as to how consistent this is, and we're only 11 episodes in. It's every Thursday at 8 p.m. Last week was the one and only exception, but every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central. And I even have a countdown prior to going live, so that way people can expect, hey, 8 o'clock sharp, this thing is kicking off. So you gotta be consistent. If you're trying to build your brand, build your image, work on your music, you got to be consistent. You gotta be boring into how consistent you are, because if you're not, you are missing on the momentum. And let me tell you something. This is coming from personal experience. If you miss out one time, you can undo all of that momentum that you've been building. You could push 30 days of constant, consistent effort. If you miss out just once, you can effectively undo all 30 days of effort. Now, wouldn't that suck? It absolutely would. So make sure you're consistent. Be boring as to how consistent you are. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that, guys. That was a really quick discussion on some of the best practices to become a successful music artist. Subscribe to us if you haven't already. Facebook and YouTube, we go live every week. And you can subscribe on all the usual streaming channels. Visit us on ampedradiolive.com. Submit your tracks if you are an artist. Kick your shout-outs, kick some audio. And I enjoy having you guys here. It's your boy S.A. We got Concrete Jungle Cypher, followed by Beverly by OEZ. God bless. See you next week. Peace.
Homies right here. I've seen a lot of brothers fall hard, trying to be the hardest thing on the block, but the fact of the matter is, ain't nobody that hard when the king come down like, give me my world, then he back again. So I stay G'd up with the homies on the track, and we moving like we jungle cats. All these other MCs really wanna start a rumble, but they rumble beats, trying to make a brother mad. Homie, I ain't lying, I'm a lion, and I walk the streets. I don't ever sleep, cause I'ma hustle till I rest in peace. Jesus, you the ruler of this rock, man, concrete. Everybody soon gotta take a knee, give it up to the one who will appear as king, yeah.
Who's that like once again? Now we back with the track and the pattern pen. The pack and the rap and the pack 'em in. From the back and the lack and they backing it. I got a fact like that, now come again. Feel like this night, now come and live. You're gonna crack that sky when he come again. But then you buy that lie when you run from him now. Now we all gon' die if you want to be. See you try to get by but you're stuck again. See you try to get fly but you're suffering. See you try to get high but you're struggling. They spend your time hustling so that in your life with nothing is. Maybe in your mind you stumbling, but maybe then you can find you can come to him like
This concrete jungle molded me. Haters wanted holes in me. Jehovah keep on holding me. And yeah, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Father put the scope in me. So when them bullets in the jungle book, I'm on my Mowgli. But I am not the stereotype. God in my speakers, homie, I'm the stereotype. And faith is a disease, I am the venereal type. I kill death, I live the scarier life. Click, click.
Yo, make way for the lion and Judah, the ruler, bearing true fruit for the future. No American peace like USA. Spell it, get it, never had a clue, huh? We were hopeless archers in darkness, the way we missed the mark. But it came in vengeance, nailed the target, his hands and wrists are scarred. Now that art is official, fall from anything artificial. My temple is a home, Christ owns, no apartment rentals. The lion is I am, and I am inside him. All liars will face the Lord. In the concrete jungle, I had to survive, so all I did was eat bars.
To be noticed, but notice there's something bogus, atrocious, causing commotion. Jehovah is not the focus. Artificial fictions healing you with small doses. I'm imparting you with scripture, revealing the God of Moses. Blood poured, red wine, read between the red lines. You were dead blind, letting off the Tech 9. Boom! I would hate to lose you. Confiscate the Ruger, incarcerating the shooter.
Make way for the lion roaring. I'm waiting on Zion's calling. While you waiting on the block, was how I pray that you listen, cause I've been in your spot. I was born in NY, the concrete jungle. BX Barrow, where life is a rumble. I'm living in a world where they try to make me stumble, but now I got the law, so I gotta stay humble.
All praise to the king of the jungle. Came in But the joke's on you, homie, cause the truth is that we far from that. Called to confound the wise while bearing our crosses on our back. Into the wild we go, take our land cause the king is coming back. Never scared we go cause Jesus is the leader of the pack. Yeah! Ha ha! Concrete jungle cypher. Life in every verse mixtape. You knew we was gonna end this joint with a bang. Shout out to my brothers, man. Manuel, KJ52, Stay Out of Corner, 3D Remedy, Young Paul, A-Flow. Salute to y'all, man. Coming through and blessing the cypher. It's life in every verse. It's a young man, Blaze Talks. I hope you enjoyed the project. Peace.
Turn it up.
This is not your ordinary radio.
What you got? Alright.
You're listening to Ant Radio.
Where the party
Brought
at?
to you by D2S Records. We got you in the mix.
Verily, 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 verily. Yeah, that boy right there, he's speaking true. Verily, 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 verily. True, very, verily indeed. Verily, 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 verily. Yeah, that boy right there, he's speaking true. Verily, 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 verily. True, very, verily indeed. Verily. Yeah, he's speaking true. He the living proof. Open up the book and let the sinners go loose. If the righteous barely make it, what pretenders gonna do? Ain't no confidence in flesh, let them dependent on you. I've been up in the storm, I spoke and made it calm. His word is my bond, yes, I've been born new. Verily, 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 verily the truth. Truth, I ain't never been the same. Hey, Jesus came and healed up all the lames. Now we gangsta grilling demons, giving pain. Yeah, the word of God blow 'em out the frame. From the least to the greatest, from the bottom to the top. I don't need a Glock, kill a giant with a rock. Verily, 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 verily. Really, I don't stop. Verily, 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 verily. Yeah, that boy right there, he's speaking true. Verily, 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 verily. True, very, verily indeed. Verily, 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 verily. Yeah, that boy right there, he's speaking true. Verily, 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 verily. True, very, verily indeed. Verily, verily. Homie ain't no fairy. Like when demons like the pit. Shake them thoroughly. Million times, silver wine, piece of bread served. Bring buzz of fire from the Zion, that's scary. Guaranteed, last man standing alive ain't journey. And he dead, that's what unbelievers will be thoroughly. Burn, come back riding on that horse so terribly. You can preach and prophesy, pay your tithes every day. It don't matter what you do if you ain't got no charity. Healing for your body, all the word of God therapy. Thinking I'ma live forever, this is temporary. Jesus till the day I die, once and you can bury me. Swing low, sweet cherry, carry me. Jesus till the day I die, once and you can bury me. Swing low, sweet cherry, carry me, carry me, carry me, carry me, carry me. Verily, 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 verily. Yeah, that boy right there, he's speaking true. Verily, 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 verily. True, very, verily indeed. Verily, 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 verily. Yeah, that boy right there, he's speaking true. Verily, verily, verily.